I'm Ron Lowenberg. I happen to be the Dean and Director of the Criminal Justice Training Center here at Golden West College, and I want to welcome you all to one of our signature events that we have here on campus annually. And it's my distinct pleasure to begin the ceremony. So if I could have everyone stand, please, and we'll have the Academy Class Color Guard present the colors. Gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, would you join with me in honoring our nation with a pledge to our flag? I pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
How about a round of applause for our honor guard from Class 147 of the Police Academy? Please be seated. You'll note that we have our Police Academy class with us today, Class 147, our regular Police Academy, referred to as the RBC, the regular basic course. We also have with us, seated right behind our Police Academy class, is our SIBC, Specialized Investigators Basic Course. That's an academy for specialized law enforcement. And we also have our Public Safety Dispatch course students with us today. So welcome to all of them. Thank you. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce our president, President Wes Bryant. We are very fortunate on this campus and in this district to have such demonstrated leaders. And one of those leaders is Wes Bryant. Wes?
Thank you, Ron. Welcome to the Courtyard of Honor ceremony. Since the first induction of the first alumni in 1991, Golden West College has embraced the Courtyard of Honor as a way to recognize outstanding alumni and donors. If you've been here before, you've heard me say that of all the college events, this is my favorite. Don't get me wrong, our scholarships and awards ceremony is amazing, where students are recognized for their accomplishments and donors for their opportunity to meet those students whose lives they helped change. And graduation is where I hand students diplomas and share the excitement with their family and friends. After all, that is why we're here. But today is about gratitude and saying thank you. Thank you to our donors who help make all of these ceremonies possible, and to our honored alumni for their inspiration that you give our students to persevere and succeed. Many students would not make it without your help. Our students need your encouragement, and so today is our opportunity to say thank you. Today, we also have the opportunity to see what past students have done with their education, because we all believe that education is a lifelong gift and one that continues to give throughout our lives to our personal and professional success, to our families and our communities. We learn how to be of service and to make this world a better place. That's what education is for. This event is where it all comes full circle. That's why I'm honored to celebrate. We see what people have done with their education, education that you've helped them to have and to come back and to serve. This year, we induct 3 Alumni Pillars of Achievement recipients, 1 Pillar of Support, and 6 Golden Society members. In our circle of donors, we recognize 22 new donors and 29 donors who have moved up to the next donor level. In addition, we're excited to induct 2 new donors into the Premier category. These are individuals or businesses that have exceeded in giving more than $100,000 to the college. These pillars are recognizable by the gold Premier seal below their plaque and by their gold plate on the donor wall. This year's Premier Pillar recipients are the Foundation for California Community Colleges and the Radford Robertson Trust. Let's give them a hand. This is an impressive list of honorees, and the donors is a testament to the dedication of our community as demonstrated to education and to Golden West College in particular. At this time, I'd like to recognize the following guests. From the Golden West College Student Council, Twee Nguyen, Student Senator, Chair of the Activities Committee. And Correa Rodriguez, Student Senator and Temporary Chair of Programming. From the Coast Community College District Board of Trustees, President Dr. Lorraine Prinsky. And Vice President Mary Hornbuckle. And Trustee Marino. Joining us from the city of Alhambra, Mark Yokoyama, Chief of Police, Director, Golden West College Foundation Board of Directors, and the 2009 Alumni Pillar of Achievement. Joining us from the city of Cypress, Jackie Gomez Whiteley, Chief of Police and the 2010 Alumni Pillar of Achievement recipient. Joining us from the city of Huntington Beach, Ralph Bauer, former mayor and city council member. Norma Brandell Gibbs, former mayor of Huntington Beach and Seal Beach. Kenneth Small, Chief of Police. Lieutenant Bo Savinsbo. Joining us from the city of Los Alamitos, Todd Matterhorn, Chief of Police, President of the Chiefs and Police Sheriff's Association, and the 2012 Alumni Pillar of Achievement recipient. And joining us from the city of Westminster, Andrew Hall, Chief of Police, retired 2004 Alumni Pillar of Achievement recipient. From the Coast Community College District, Dr. Andrea Serban, Vice Chancellor of Educational Services and Technology. Dr. Martha Parham, Director of Public Affairs and Governmental Relations, Executive Director of the Coast Community College Foundation. From the Golden West College Foundation, Judy Elmore, Foundation Chair and President of Elmore Toyota. Steve Olmsted, Foundation President and President of Olmsted Associates Accountancy Corporation. Janelle Godges, Regional Manager, Local Public Affairs, Southern California Edison. Cheryl Tittle, Golden West College Classified Representative. Mark Yokoyama, Chief of Police, City of Alhambra. Again. John McGovern, Director Emeritus and Vice President, retired of Toyota Motor Sales, USA. From Golden West College, Janet Houlihan, Vice President of Student Life and Administrative Services. Paul Wisner, Director of Fiscal Services. Bruce Berman, Executive Director, Golden West College Foundation. Representing the Golden West College patrons, Joe Andrews, Patrons President. June Dugmore, Patrons Parliamentarian. I want to thank you all for attending. To introduce our Pillar of Alumni Achievement recipients, please join me in welcoming Mark Yokoyama, Chief of Police for the City of Alhambra 2009 Golden West Pillar of Achievement. Mark.
Thank you, President Bryan. And ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a privilege to be here with all of you today to introduce our 2013 Alumni Pillar of Achievement honorees, a group of honorees that are truly best in class. So to be considered as a candidate for an Alumni Pillar of Achievement, an individual must have completed 30 of their units at Golden West College, so they're truly invested. They must have been an alumni for at least 10 years and attained notable achievement and recognition in their field of endeavor, not to mention to have been nominated for this honor. The honorees today are surely ones that stand out amongst the crowd in their profession and certainly here at Golden West College as well. This year we have 3 Alumni Pillar of Achievement recipients. So our first alumni honoree is Blaze Bryant. And here to introduce Blaze is Chip Marchbank, coordinator of the Golden West College Equal Opportunity Programs and Services Care Program and Emancipated Foster Youth Program.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming. I want to really extend a thank you to the foundation for doing this every year because it is such a wonderful event. And congratulations to all of today's recipients. Back in 1987, I was still working in sports medicine as an athletic trainer here at Golden West College. And one of the things we did early in the year, at the beginning of the year actually, was have football physicals that we would run in our training room here. Our team doctors would come in. And when we were doing the physicals that year, I heard this infectious laugh outside. And as we finally got into the room, and that laugh belonged to Blaze Bryant. Blaze not only was a fun and unbelievable football player, but he was a good student as well. He left here after 3 semesters, transferred on to a 4-year university. While he played here, I won't go over all of his statistics because it wouldn't mean anything to half of you. But at that time, Blaze became an All-American when he played here, first team. In one game, he ran for over 330 yards against Riverside City College, unheard of. And after he was done playing here, had a lot of fun playing here, he transferred to Iowa State on a scholarship. At Iowa State, in 2 years, he performed at a level that most football players and running backs take 4 years to achieve. He's one of the top running backs in the history of the NC2A, and he did it all in 2 years, running for 2,500 yards, something of that nature. On his senior year, he became a Heisman Trophy candidate, a legitimate top pick to be a Heisman Trophy winner. But unfortunately, halfway through the season, he suffered an injury that slowed him down, and he wasn't able to achieve that goal. But in Iowa, he became a football hero. After that, he played in the NFL and in the Canadian Football League for another 6 to 8 years. And when he finished, he realized one thing. He realized he came to Golden West and played football for fun. When he was at Iowa State, he carried the weight of a school, a city, and a state on his back because they were all so hopeful that he was going to win that Heisman Trophy. When he went into the NFL, he realized football's a business. And when he played in Canada, the same thing. Football's a business. But we were lucky because when he graduated, and he did, he graduated from Iowa State before he left to play in the NFL. When he was finished with his playing career, he decided where am I going to settle down? Iowa wanted him. He was a hero there. A lot of people wanted him to come, but he decided that he was going to come back to Southern California. When he got back here, he started his own business. He owns a mortgage company. He's actually the CEO of a mortgage company here in Fountain Valley. And one of the things that he likes to do in his business is to help veterans get housing. So ladies and gentlemen, Blaze Bryant.
Thank you. When I came here, I didn't know what to think. I was a Prop 48, which basically means I had low SAT scores. So I got a scholarship to the University of Hawaii at a high school. And they wanted me to sit out a year, and I decided not to and come to Golden West Junior College. It was a difficult time for me because I kind of felt like I let a lot of people down with my academics out of high school. And coming to Golden West, to me, at the time, I felt like a failure. But when my time was up at Golden West, I didn't want to leave. I had such a great time here. I met such great people. I don't want to bore you naming all their names, but I got to throw a couple out there. Ray Shackelford was my football coach. Chip, of course, my main guy that kept me healthy through all those times. And there was a teacher named Pat White, and she was there for me as well. Also, she traveled to watch me play Oklahoma when I was at Iowa State. When I was here, they taught me so many things, but one thing that I didn't have was academic discipline. And through the teachers and the counselors, Ray Shackelford and Coach Shaughnessy, they pulled me through, and literally I graduated in 3 semesters and a summer school. And I never thought I could do it. It was a lot of work, and then I was also working a job as well as trying to take 11 units in summer school. I don't know if any of you went to summer school, but it's like an all-day event. So I would literally start at 8 in the morning and be done at 5:30 at night. And but I did it. I'm here. And I'd like to thank just Golden West for all the support they had. And when I was at Iowa State, where I thought that's where I wanted to be, and that was my pinnacle, I would literally sit in my apartment crying, wishing I was back at Golden West, because I was so homesick. And it's just weird how life throws you those curveballs, because when I was at Golden West, all I wanted to be was at a major university. And it was funny how it just kind of flip-flopped on me. And that Golden West has never left my mind, never left my heart. And I'll be a Golden West wrestler till I die. Thank you.
So our next alumni honoree is Matthew Cohen. And here to introduce Matthew is retired Golden West College wrestling coach, Dale Defner.
I remember the first time I was introduced to the new faculty here at Golden West College. They said, and this is the wrestling coach. All right, stand up, Dale, get on the chair. Get tall, you're supposed to look like a WWF guy or something like that. So right after me, there was a guy named Bruce Hand, who was part of our criminal justice program. And he was a giant NFL-looking guy. And the president at that time says, Dr. Boyce, he says, now there's a wrestling coach, because this guy was just a giant, humongous body. But that's kind of the unique sport aspect of the sport of wrestling, is that they come in all sizes. And I've always felt very fortunate to have worked here at Golden West College for as long as I did. And I think Coach Doherty and I, we could both agree that we've had some pretty good guys come through our program that we could feel real proud of. And Matt Calvin is one of those guys. He originally came to us out of Melody Land High School, right? It was changed the name to Southern California Christian High School. He came here as a young 17-year-old kid. And I have to tell you a little story about that. I was talking to a friend of mine. I says, hey, yeah, I'm going to this ceremony at Golden West College, and there's this kid of mine that being inducted into this Pillar of Achievement. And he says, and how many years ago was this? He's not a kid anymore. This guy's now a man. So I have to talk to him. But in my mind, you will always be one of my kids. All right, just like you're part of the family. And that part of the family that's here recognizing his achievements today. Anyway, the first semester he came, being a young kid, and we had some pretty good guys on the team at that time. And we said, geez, Matt, if we kind of go part-time that first semester, first year, let you kind of grow into your man body. And we had some pretty good guys on the team for him to tutor under at the time. And so we agreed that, hey, we're just going to put him on the part-time program. And so let's see, the first semester, usually I tried to tutor my guys, hey, we're going to groom into this college scene because it's a little different than high school. And we're going to put you on the success program right away. Success meaning that we're not going to blow you out of academically the first semester. He says, okay, we can do that. So let's see, what did Matt sign up for? I think you were in third year calculus. This is first semester of college. First year, third year calculus, physics and chemistry, the first semester of his college career. So you can see we had somebody special here. That right away I'm sweating bullets because I'm thinking, I don't know, Matt, that's a pretty stiff program. But knowing his family, mother and dad, and the other kids in the family and how they grew up in a disciplined environment where he actually took that on and became, I'm sure you graduated out here as an honor student. From here, he spent his career here at Golden West. He went on to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, one of the big-time engineering schools in the state, if not in the country, right? And he was in a real dilemma that first semester of deciding whether or not he wanted to go, let's see, chemical engineering or mechanical engineering. Well, he wound up going the mechanical engineering route and wound up being an honor grad there. From there, he went on and worked. He's currently working at the Livermore Labs up in Livermore, California, one of the premier chemical companies in the country, if not world. And we got discussing, and we jokingly talk about how he tried to describe what he did as an occupation, what was part of his job there. And it got to a point where he's in this nuclear stuff. And it's like, if I really told you, I'd have to kill you. But that's not true. He just come back. You'll enjoy this, Chief, that he just came back from an 8-day job in Washington, D.C. in national nuclear energy kind of thing. So anyway, we'll have a chance to talk to him more later, but what I did, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce Matthew Calvin, honor grad at all levels of where he worked.
Thank you very much, Coach Steffner. I really do appreciate all the enthusiasm, the positive attitude, and dedication that you brought both to the wrestling program and to your kids here at Golden West. And it has really meant a lot to me, and you've been a tremendous impact in my life. So Golden West has sort of a unique role in my family. I'm the fourth out of 5 kids. And we grew up essentially sharing the same major cross streets. We lived practically across the street. Ironically enough, actually, my parents watched this place being built, and my dad, I'll say, semi-prophetically said, aha, now I know where my kids are going to go to school. And lo and behold, all 5 of us did attend here and then move on from there. So Golden West truly was a community college in all the sense of the words. And we grew up, we went swimming in the swimming pool here. We ran on the track. We really tried hard to do the park course and didn't do it very well at times. We watched summertime movies in the amphitheater. And it was tremendous fun experience at that point. But for me, things changed in 1987 when I personally fell in love with the sport of wrestling as a freshman in high school. And ended up from there working out in Coach Defner's and Coach Duarte's, who's also here, open wrestling practices for the freestyle and Greco-Roman season, and the club season after the high school season was over. So I spent 4 years participating here, going from just kind of the beginner wrestler to much more than that. Again, my dad ended up working in the bout rooms with Coach Defner. Coach Defner taught me how to referee, all sorts of those kind of things. Went on from there to wrestle at Golden West for a couple years and moved on to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. From there, from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, working at Lawrence Livermore National Lab, and also getting a graduate degree at Stanford University. So all of these things, which is interesting, is, so why did I choose Golden West? Well, obviously there was a family connection and it was close. But what I really got out of Golden West was excellent academic preparation, surprisingly excellent. I definitely have the experience at other reputable universities and colleges, and I can absolutely say, hands down, fabulous education here. Physics professor Bernie Gilpin and Conrad Stein, math professor Tom Scardina. I think all of us, had Professor Scardina for various forms of calculus. I can say truly inspired me to follow up into mechanical engineering. I always kind of thought I wanted to do something technical. I liked math. And from there, they kind of led me down the path for that a fulfilling career. I would also be remiss if I forgot to mention Professor Bernard, whose chemistry labs and classes were truly challenging. There's nothing like going back again into the lab to bake out your crucible one more time to see if you could finally get it to settle down, to truly get an appreciation for that. So Golden West kind of gave me several opportunities. It gave me the opportunity, I had done well academically in high school, but I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I wanted to keep wrestling, and I knew I wanted to go to college. So Golden West gave me the opportunity to take some time to grow up a little bit, to have some wonderful academic preparation, and figure out the next steps. And for that, I am truly grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations, Matthew, and thank you. Our final alumni honoree this year is a personal friend and peer whom I am particularly proud of, from the Buena Park Police Department, Chief Corey Sainez. And here to introduce Chief Sainez is our Chief Ron Lohenberg, Dean of the Golden West College Criminal Justice Training Center.
Thank you, Mark. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce one of our recipients for today. But before I do that, I'd like to introduce Chief Paul Sorrell, retired from the Fountain Valley Police Department, who was our 2011 recipient. He's got the retired look. Look at the glasses, the turtleneck. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Sainez went through our program a number of years ago. I won't tell you how long ago. And both him and several of the other recipients here today were commenting earlier about when they step on this campus, some of the feelings that it endures. And Of course, some of those are good and some of those are not so good. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the Police Academy class, hang in there. You too one day might be a police chief. Corey was appointed the 9th chief in the city of Buena Park, March 11, 2011. He is a native Californian. He comes from a family of law enforcement professionals. His was hired out of the Golden West Academy, of course, by Buena Park PD when he was 21 years old, started his career young. Had the opportunity in the 31 years that he's been a professional law enforcement officer to move through the ranks, obviously, and he had a number of specialty assignments along the way, including motor officer, SWAT, burglary, robbery, homicide, internal affairs. Additionally, he served as the captain of both major divisions in the department, both the Operations Division and the Support Services Division. And he was also the primary catalyst of the development and completion of the department's first-time 5-year strategic plan. Chief Sainez was awarded a bachelor's degree from Cal State University at Long Beach in occupational studies. He is a graduate of the Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training Command College, Class 37, Class 3. The real Command College. All kidding aside. And of course, Corey is well known for being an active member in the Buena Park community, sitting as a board member of the Boys and Girls Club, as a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Chief Sainez's professional memberships also include the California Police Chiefs Association, where he presently serves as Secretary-Treasurer, a great addition to that organization. And of course, has served us very well here at Golden West College and on our Criminal Justice Training Center Executive Advisory Committee. I would, our last two folks that did such a great job of introducing our recipients had some stories to tell. Even if I had some stories, I probably couldn't tell them in public. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Corey Sainez.
Thank you. Looking over at the new academy class really brings back those memories, I gotta tell you. Both good and not so good, I gotta say. I'm extremely humble and honored to receive this recognition today. I want to give special thanks to the Golden West College Foundation and Wes Bryan, President of the Golden West College, and to Ron Lowenberg, retired police chief and Dean of the Criminal Justice Program, who happened to be a friend of my father, who was a retired lieutenant from the Garden Grove Police Department, who passed away about 13 years ago. He is the reason why he always inspired me to get into law enforcement. And I got to tell you, being in public service is such a great honor. And those that are in the police academy and those that have served understand that it's a proud job and something that I am very fortunate to have accomplished in my life. And being able to give back to the community and making a meaningful and measurable difference in people's lives is really rewarding, and it continues to serve a purpose for me, and it will for you as well. There are so many people that I would like to thank that have helped me out throughout my career. And Ron, it's been 34 years, not 31 years. I graduated in the academy on December the 10th, 1979. But you can't do it without a strong support group, and that includes my family and my wife, and those that have been with you in your ups and downs through your career, and there's been many. And this award could not have been achieved without their inspiration. And you also have to have a good network, a good foundation, and mentorship, and many of which I had here at Golden West College. And then back in 1979, I think the majority of the training staff here was pretty much all from Los Angeles Police Department. And the academy was pretty rigorous back then. And we all know how important education is, and just the education you gain in the academy and here at Golden West College has, provided me with the confidence, ability, and skills and knowledge to be able to do what I do. Because education is very, very important, and I continue to, in my position, educate many, many people, many stakeholders, and many community members on what it is we do. And so education continues to be part of what I do every day. So all this has given me that strength to challenge myself to perform better every single day throughout the many stages of my life. So I again sincerely thank you for this recognition. I can't tell you how much it means to me, and I appreciate you all being here today. So thank you very much. Sit down now.
Once again, would you please join me in congratulating our 2013 Alumni Pillar of Achievement recipients. And now, I'd like to introduce to you a lady who I have some very high regard for her own accomplishments and for what she represents, the chair of the Golden West College Foundation Board of Directors, Miss Judy Elmore.
Thank you, Mark, and congratulations to the recipients. It is my pleasure now to introduce to you our recipient of the 2013 Support Pillar. The Support Pillar is given to those businesses or individuals who have contributed $25,000 or more to the college. And this year we have a very special inductee and pillar that's going to be in their honor. And that is going to be for Wes Bryant and Terry Zwick. And here to tell you a little bit about this honor is John McGovern, our President of the Board Emeritus. Golden West College Board President Emeritus.
Well, good afternoon. I thought maybe the police academy folks would help this old man get up here. I'm glad I made it. Well, good afternoon. It's certainly good to be back on campus, and I would like to take a moment to thank Judy for this honor to introduce Wes Bryant. Judy, we'd also like to thank you for all the leadership and the generosity that you give to Golden West College. The folks that I'm going to introduce to you today are truly people that are committed to student success. Wes Bryant and his wife, Terry, have been committed to education all of their adult life. Terry, who we like to call the First Lady of Golden West, graduated with a master's degree in child education while raising 5 children. Absolutely amazing. Highlights in her career included being an exchange student, mentor on trips to Japan for students. One of her most notable accomplishments was a 3-year tour of schooling in Spain, where she taught young folks there. Wes, our current president here at Golden West College, is a native Californian. He went to Cal State University at Long Beach, where he earned his bachelor and his master's degree. He's taught at 5 different colleges here in Southern California, and he's a lifetime California Community College Instructor Supervisor and Chief Administrator Certified. Wes joined Golden West College when I first met him in 1999. And he was a great guy. He was fun to work with and a great gentleman to have at our board meetings. In 2005, he was appointed president of the college, which was our favorite, and we were very, very happy to have him appointed as such. He's a man that really has a single focus, and that's student success. You know, I describe him as a man that has his office in his shoes. If you try to call Wes, he's not in his office. He's touring the campus, talking to students, talking to faculty, and looking at some of the facilities that he was indeed part of. Wes has built many of the facilities on this campus that we enjoy today, and just a few of them are the beautiful nursing school right behind us, the student center, the new library, the swimming facility, and this very quad that he developed in order for us to have events like this in a very nice and open state, and we really appreciate that. You know, Wes faced many financial challenges as the president of the college. However, with his leadership, he continued to be able to support the core activities for students here on campus. You know, I would talk to Wes and say, how are things on campus? And he'd say, well, there are challenges, but we're doing fine. We're getting through. I'd like to think he was manned with not a discouraging word when you talked with him. You know, he may be considered a mild man also, but faced a few years ago with a recent state challenge to sell off some of the property here at Golden West College, Wes showed his true strength as a gentle giant. None of that property was sold off, which we are sincerely grateful for. On a personal side, Wes is, I've found, to be a great babysitter. Wes had the opportunity when Terry was teaching in Spain that he was raising and babysitting an 18-month-old baby. So, Wes, my only question, how was the pay? And also, to show his youth recently, he tried to skateboard. Result, severely dislocated shoulder. So Wes is not afraid to accept the challenge. So it's my pleasure to welcome Wes and Terry as our recipients, and we really appreciate the great leadership, the friendship, and the financial support that Wes and Terry have given Golden West College.
On a recent morning walk, Wes said, "Would you mind being the one to say thanks?" And I said, "I'd be glad to." And I really do mean that. I'm really happy to be here. We are so thankful for this community of Golden West Community College. We are grateful for the people who make this place be so full of three things that are important to Wes. And I have to tell you, those three things are a passion, a place, and people. Now, I heard those words on the beginning of our relationship, which happened to be in February of 1978 when he signed his full-time contract at Golden West. And he told me right then and there, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying at Golden West. I had some dreams which involved teaching and living in other parts of the world, but we waited 10 years, and that's when we ended up in Spain. But he told me about that passion, a place, and people. And we're lucky. Education has always been our passion. I'm still teaching full-time. It's my 40th year. I started teaching in 1973. So I've been teaching 40 years, and Wes has been here for a long time as well. And this place is full of people who are passionate about student success, about education, and about helping people become more successful in their lives. We're just happy to be part of it. We feel very, very blessed. It's been mentioned all 5 of our now adult sons and daughters also attended here. 4 received an AA and transferred on. 1 took some great classes, and she went on as well. So when we walk in the morning or at night, I'll often say to Wes, tell me a story about school today, because I love to hear it. And you would think, because I'm around a lot of administrators in my own job, that there is plenty to complain about. But I am here to tell you that this man, when we walk, you know what I hear about? I hear about the music department, about the plays at the theater. I hear about an opening in the art gallery. I hear about the police academy graduation, the nursing graduation. I'll hear about the math and science teachers. I hear about the Peace Academy. And I know in saying this, I'm not telling you everything, but believe me, I hear about all of you, because he is proud. And we are proud of people who are working together in a community, at a community college in Huntington Beach, to make a difference in the lives of a lot of people. So we're just really thankful that we can be a part of it, and we play a part in it with you. I will tell you a quick funny story. When we were in Spain, I came home one day. It's one of my favorite stories. He got a sabbatical. He said to me, hey, your passion has been to travel and live and teach overseas. Let's try to make it happen. If it happens, fine. If not, you got to stop talking about it. And I said, okay. So I tried. I did get a job in Spain. We did move with 3 kids, ages 7, 4, and 1. We did have a 4th baby while we lived there, so that was another adventure. But he's home, being the house husband. I come home, he's laying on the sofa, and he said, Terry, I never understood why you were so tired by 7:30 at night. He said it was the hardest job he ever had, so yay. But anyway, again, Passion Place and people, and you are all a part of it. The volunteers from the foundation, the staff, and of course the students. So thank you very much for the honor.
Congratulations, that was a wonderful acceptance speech, and you certainly are both very well thought of, and it was terrific seeing you receive that award. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Steve Olmsted, owner and CEO of Olmsted and Associates Accounting Corporation. Steve is the president of the Golden West College Foundation. Please give him a hand. Round of applause.
Thank you, Judy. Good afternoon. What another great event. Sun comes out, great honorees, and just an awesome chance to say again, thank you to everyone. You know, whether support is large or small in the form of dollars or in time or in kind, we are so grateful for all the efforts to support this campus's educational goals. This afternoon, we've been blessed to acknowledge one pillar recipient, but we are really blessed to acknowledge 6 Golden Society members. A Golden Society member is anyone who has contributed, financially supported the school in the range of exceeding $10,000 up to the pillar level of $25,000. Golden Society acknowledgees, when I call your name, please come forward. Ralph and Charlene Bauer. As a former mayor and city councilman of Huntington Beach, Ralph, along with his wife Charlene, are true citizens of this vibrant city. Their dedication to the growth and betterment of Huntington Beach and to Golden West College has earned them numerous awards and recognitions including being named the Golden Stars of the Year by the college's faculty and staff. Their generosity and support throughout the years has provided opportunities to students seeking their educational dreams. We're proud to induct Ralph and Charlene Bauer into the Golden Society of Donors.
Thank you. Let me tell you how lucky you are today, because Ralph is probably stuck on the freeway and I get to give the acceptance. People who know him know he has many words to say. And our passion has always been education. We always say it's our religion. We are the first graduates in our families, so it's meant a lot to us. We came with Norma to Huntington Beach in 1964. It wasn't what it is today, and we feel that we have been in on every good thing that has happened in the city. All its growth, the beginning of Golden West College. Our son went here to play water polo with Coach Hermstead, and they won state championships. Well, he was here and meant a lot to him, and he went on to Long Beach State and was a recipient of the Alumni Award in 2009, which we're very proud of. And excuse me, I'm really not as emotional as I may sound. But the city has been very, very good to Ralph and Charlene Bauer. And we feel that Golden West is a wonderful part of the community. We're very proud to be associated with it. And if any of you can or will be able to help it in any way, we would be glad to join you. My father was a policeman, and we went to UCLA when it was where people went that didn't have a lot of money, and we got excellent education, which we feel has stood us in good stead. And I'll tell you how old it is. Valley College in the San Fernando Valley, I could have gone to, Ralph couldn't. It hadn't been built when he graduated from high school. So it's a long, long time, and it's been a wonderful journey. And we knew Doug Boyce, he was a neighbor, and I think that Huntington Beach has been a wonderful place to raise children and to send to Golden West. Our daughter took a little different track and went to UCLA and then that other school. But Ralph always tells her she's out of the will, but that's okay. Maybe Golden West will be the recipient.
Our next honoree is Mark Craig. As a member of the Golden West College staff since 1988, Mark exhibits the dedication and spirit of volunteerism that defines the heart of any service organization. His untold volunteer hours are reflective of his generosity and commitment to enhancing the educational experience of our students. Mark is a valued member of this campus community. It's our privilege to induct Mark Craig into the Golden Society of Donors.
Thank you so much.
The next person we'd like to acknowledge is Norma Brandell Gibbs. Journalist Margaret Fuller once said, "If you have knowledge, let others light their candles in it." My guess is that she was referring to Norma Brandell Gibbs. As former mayor and councilperson of Huntington Beach and former mayor of Seal Beach, she is a respected leader across many communities and an inspiration to many. A true philanthropist, especially for education, she calls her time working with students transformative. We are proud to induct Norma Brandell Gibbs into the Golden Society of Donors. Our fourth honoree are June and Paul Dugmore. June and Paul have been an integral part of Huntington Beach for most of their married life, dedicating their time and resources in a spirit of philanthropy that's inspiring and motivating to those around them. With the loss of Paul this past January, we thank June with the hope that she is comforted by the support of a campus full of friends who appreciate all that she and Paul have done for the students of Golden West College. It is our privilege today to induct June and Paul Dugmore into the Golden Society of Donors.
I'm not really into public speaking, but for this college, I will do it. On behalf of my husband and myself, I thank you for this beautiful honor here in the courtyard. I treasure it, and he would too. Former educator, a family man, and a veteran. I do want to share maybe two little thoughts. One, when I was young and a PTA president in Seal Beach, they opened the campus here. And my neighbor was on the school board, John Bentley. But anyway, I traveled up, sat out there, and was so in awe of this beautiful campus. I just thought, oh, gorgeous. So then years later, when we finally moved to Huntington Beach, that would be about 43 years ago, I was still active in the PTAs in our community, love our Huntington Beach, everything about it. But anyway, a friend, asked me to join patrons. And I joined, and I'm just so happy I did. It's been so pleasurable, so wonderful. And I'm always saying, you know what, we're about the patrons of Golden West College are scholarships. And I so strongly believe in that, in helping and giving back. Two of our 5 children, David and Danny, attended here, and they loved those years. I can't think and all the things that they were involved with, but they loved it. We were very proud of them. And the others have all done well too. And our 5 grandchildren, I'm still trying to get a couple of them to attend here. I hope I do. Again, thank you for listening, and thank you for all that you do. And again, there's no place like Huntington Beach. I love it. And Golden West College. Thank you.
And thank you, June. Our 5th honoree is the Abel Weatherwax Foundation. As strong supporters of our criminal justice training center's Returning Combat Veterans Scholarship Program, the Abel Weatherwax Foundation, located in Aberdeen, Washington, is a family foundation that provides generous financial assistance to a large range of causes, including education. We are proud to induct the Abel Weatherwax Foundation into the Golden Society of Donors. Our last honoree today, John and Sheila Wirtis. John and Sheila Wirtis have been supporting Golden West College since the doors opened in 1966. As a charter faculty member of the college, John has been an integral part of the campus, remaining as a volunteer after his retirement in 1995. He continues his dedication to the campus, supporting all of the foundational events and most every event on campus. His organization skills are legendary. As cherished members of the Golden West family, John and Sheila have been instrumental in keeping the wrestler spirit alive. Welcome to the Golden Society of Donors.
I'm not a lecherous old man. This is my daughter, Nicole. I have to tell you a little story about the beginning of the college because I'm very proud to be a charter faculty member. I was hired in the spring of 1966 prior to the college was opened. And as many of you know, this campus is built on the Lewis Farm, 122 acres. And we didn't have, at the time the new faculty were being hired, the college didn't have an administrative building or an office, so the Lewis Farmhouse, which was out on the corner of Golden West and McFadden, served as the administrative offices for the college, and Dr. Boyce had his office in the back bedroom. Opposite the back bedroom was one bathroom for the house, and he had a secretary by the name of Clarice Lothsus. And so because it was a male-female relationship in the building, if you went into the bathroom, there was a roll of pink toilet paper and a roll of blue toilet paper saying his and hers. When I discovered all of that in my interview, I thought, well, this is going to be an interesting place to work because there's a sense of humor. And of course, those of you who have been around a long time and knew Dud Boyce, you know, he did have a great sense of humor. My interesting experience in being hired was that in addition to coming to a farmhouse and being interviewed in a bedroom rather than a formal office, the president, who I thought would be dressed in a suit and tie and appropriate for his level, was in a shirt with an open collar, no tie, very wide suspenders. He leaned back in his chair and had one foot on his desk during my interview. And that one foot had a hole about that big around in his shoe. And as he was asking questions, I kept focusing on the hole in the shoe and this man who was going like this with his suspenders. And I knew I had blown the interview because I couldn't even remember what I was talking about. I was so fascinated with what was happening with the suspenders and the hole in the shoe. And I thought, I walked out of there and said, well, there's no way they'll ever hire me because I don't think I even answered one question correctly. Anyway, I'm thrilled to be here all of these years later. I love the place. It's my home away from home. My wife feels that the college has been my mistress all of my life because I spent so much time here. And I'm thrilled to have my daughter representing my wife, who's a little under the weather today, to be with me. Thank you.
Thank you, John, and we're grateful you got a few correct answers in that interview. So you've hung in there well. We love this event, this opportunity to just, you know, look out, respond in awe, and express our gratitude. And it's my pleasure to reintroduce our President, Wes Bryan, to close out our ceremony.
I think I could get into ditching the tie and putting on some suspenders, John. Thanks, Steve. And I want to recognize Ralph Ballard, but I want to remind him his wife's already given the speech. I want to take the opportunity to introduce the 18-month-old baby, Kelsey Bryan Zwick, and her brother, Sasha Bryan Zwick, who also played water polo for here on a state championship and went on to Santa Cruz to play as well. Would all today's honorees please stand so that we can give them one more round of applause? I want to thank you on behalf of Golden West College and for your support and dedication and for what you've done with your education. Thank you very much. Now we're going to invite you to join us for a special reception next door, which is kind of around this corner. You can follow the signs to our Criminal Justice Training Center, where we'll be unveiling the Criminal Justice Training Center Honor Wall. You'll have a unique opportunity to visit the Police Academy classrooms, the Force Options Simulator Lab, which is the largest video game you've ever seen in your life. And it'll be open today and display, and some police equipment vehicles. And I'd like to thank Chief Kenneth Small and Lieutenant Bo Savinbo of the Huntington Beach Police Department for coordinating this display and today's reception. I'd also like to thank Zelda Albert Torres for providing interpretive services for today's ceremonies. And I hope you have had a sense of why this is an important and favorite event, because it is full circle. I thank the donors. I recognize the alumni. Thanks again for coming. See you at the reception.